It was a moment that reminded the world why Shaun White will always be synonymous with Olympic greatness. 4 years after officially retiring from competitive snowboarding, the three-time Olympic gold medalist made an emotional and unexpected return to the Olympic halfpipe, not as a competitor, but as a legend, revisiting the place that defined his career. As the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics continued to captivate global audiences, White returned to the halfpipe at Livigno Snow Park, the very environment where he built his reputation as one of the greatest snowboarders in history. But this time, it wasn't about winning medals, it was about reconnecting with a piece of himself. White shared the deeply personal moment with fans through behind-the-scenes footage posted to his Instagram, documenting his return to the snow and the emotions that came with it. The video, also shared by NBC Sports on February 12th, captured White strapping into his snowboard and preparing to drop into the halfpipe once again. Standing at the top, looking down at the course, the weight of the moment was clear. He reflected on how much time had passed since his Olympic journey began, saying, "I can't believe it's been 20 years. 20 years since I first competed in Torino 2006 for my first medal." That moment marked the beginning of an Olympic career that would ultimately cement his legacy in sports history. White was just 19 years old when he competed in his first Olympic Games at the Torino 2006 Winter Olympics. At the time, he was already seen as a rising star in snowboarding, but what followed exceeded even the highest expectations. He delivered a gold medal performance in the men's halfpipe, instantly becoming one of the youngest and most exciting champions in Olympic snowboarding history. Over the next several Olympic cycles, White would go on to win a total of 3 Olympic gold medals, dominating the sport with his fearless tricks, unmatched creativity, and competitive mindset. His performances helped bring snowboarding into the mainstream, inspiring an entire generation of athletes and redefining what was possible in the halfpipe. But in 2022, after competing in his final Olympic Games in Beijing, White made the difficult decision to retire from professional competition. It marked the end of an era, one that had spanned more than 2 decades at the highest level of the sport. Now, standing once again at the top of the Olympic halfpipe in 2026, White opened up about the emotional complexity of returning to a place filled with so many memories. He described his life after retirement as both fulfilling and emotional, admitting that leaving competition behind wasn't easy. "It's been a little bittersweet, but still sweet," White said, his voice reflecting both gratitude and nostalgia. As he prepared to drop in, the emotions became even more visible. Holding back tears, White admitted that part of him still wonders what it would be like to compete again. "I'd be lying to say I didn't dream about potentially competing here," he said honestly. For athletes who dedicate their lives to competition, stepping away can be one of the most challenging transitions. The adrenaline, the preparation, and the pursuit of excellence become part of their identity. For White, the Olympic halfpipe wasn't just a venue, it was a symbol of everything he had achieved. When he finally dropped in and completed his run, the joy on his face was unmistakable. It wasn't about technical perfection or judges' scores, it was about reconnecting with the sport he loves. At the bottom of the halfpipe, he reflected on the experience in a simple but powerful statement. "That was amazing. I miss it. I miss it so much." The moment resonated deeply with fans around the world, many of whom grew up watching Shaun White dominate the Olympics. His return wasn't just a personal milestone, it was a reminder of his lasting impact on the sport. Even in retirement, White has remained closely connected to the Olympic community. Throughout the 2026 Games, he has been present to support Team USA, cheer on the next generation of snowboarders, and share his experience with younger athletes who grew up idolizing him. His influence continues to shape the sport, not only through his past victories, but through his ongoing presence and mentorship. In the caption accompanying his Instagram video, White reflected further on the experience, writing, "2 runs, gotta make it count. This was special. Thank you, NBC Olympics." The message captured the essence of the moment. A legend returning, not to compete, but to appreciate the journey. White's career has always been about more than medals. It has been about passion, resilience, and pushing the limits of what's possible. His return to the Olympic halfpipe in 2026 served as a powerful reminder that while his competitive chapter may be over, his connection to snowboarding remains as strong as ever. For fans, seeing Shaun White back on the halfpipe brought both nostalgia and appreciation. It was a full circle moment, from a 19-year-old rookie chasing his first gold medal to a retired legend returning to reflect on a career that changed the sport forever. And while he may no longer be competing for gold, Shaun White's legacy at the Olympics is already permanent.